So I found a photo of my mother when she was 18 months old and written on the back June 1950. So that's how I know how old she was. And here is the front of the photo. There she is enjoying some ice cream served by her grandfather. And she's going to tell us a little story about what she remembers from her very early childhood.
Well, hi. I don't remember when I was 18 months old, and I don't remember sitting in that photograph, but I definitely remember being in that backyard. It was the backyard of my grandfather's house on McKinley Avenue, and he had a really nice lawn back there. The little stool that's in the picture where the ice cream is sitting is a little stool that he made. He made furniture in his garage. We still have that stool. My children used it, and so did Laurel's children. And the garden was really pretty out there, and I don't remember playing out there too much in the backyard. What I do remember is being with my grandfather a lot. He was a bow and arrow maker. He had a big shop for that in his garage also, and he made. I remember going to Roding Park with him, and there were all these guys lined up, and they were shooting bows and arrows. They had an archery club out at Roding Park, and I remember being a little kid, maybe not that little, but fairly young, out there at Roding Park, and we just watched them shoot at targets out there. I also remember driving with my grandfather um, up to the foothills out Millerton Road. Had some friends that had a ranch out there, and we would go to their ranch, and then we would start walking up into the hills. And they were definitely hills where the Indians had lived, because we always found arrowheads and lots of rocks. We brought them all back. My grandfather set up one of the bedrooms in his house, and he labeled all the rocks and the arrowheads where they had come from, and he also went on archaeological digs out in Kalinga. My uncle, his brother-in-law, discovered one of the dinosaurs that was out there. So there was a lot going on with creativity in that family and exploration, and including me and my brother, who was 18 months younger than me. We started going when he was maybe, I don't know, 2, and I would be older, a little bit older. So I really remember my grandfather, Frank Ray Morris, Morris, and my one of the things that happened is traumatic in my life is that he called me up one day. We lived in our own house then, away, not in his house, but a few miles away. But I saw him almost every day. He brought us our first TV and all kinds of things like that. And that day, I answered the phone in the kitchen, and he says, "I'm in the hospital, and I'm gonna come home soon and see you." And he just talked like he always did to me, like very reassuring. And what happened was that he had an operation, and the doctor made a mistake, and he died in the hospital right after. That was probably one of the first really traumatic things that happened to me. And when I think about my trauma, I always think of that moment when I talked to him on the phone. I believed what he said because it was my grandfather. He was one of the main people in my life that spent time with me and brought me things and took me places while my parents were busy with both of their children, me and my brother. And then they had my other brother. So I loved him very, very much, and I miss him even now. Thank you.